6 best 90s rom-com movies to binge on Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is one holiday that's met with giddy excitement by many whose lives are brimming with romance, or by those whose dream of a fairy tale romance come true someday. Love fills the air on February 14th as lovebirds flock to restaurants, parks, theaters, and hotels. But if a public display of affection, or exasperation, if you abhor tackiness, isn't what you fancy, then binging on these 6 cornball 1990s date movies while cuddling your pillow, your dog, or a special someone can be an equally romantic Valentine's celebration too. Number 1. 4 Weddings and a Funeral. Believe that love will always find its way, even through 4 Weddings and a Funeral, in this 1994 surprise blockbuster British romantic comedy. Quintessential romantic leading man Hugh Grant zoomed to international fame playing the role of stammering, eyelid-flapping Charles, who's a commitment-phobic Romeo. In his friend's wedding, where he's the best man, Charles meets an American named Carrie, played by Andie MacDowell. After spending the night together, they go on their separate ways, but Charles is left smitten by his dream woman. Circumstances lead them to meet each other again in a common friend's wedding, then at Carrie's own wedding, but Charles isn't the groom. Then at a funeral, and finally in Charles's wedding with his longtime friend. But before Charles could say I do... I do. Okay, no spoilers please. Just include this Oscar-nominated rom-com on top of your V-Day list. Number 2, Only You. Can you believe that long before Robert Downey Jr. became well-loved Marvel superhero Iron Man, he was a romantic leading man opposite Oscar winner Marissa Tomei in a love story written in the stars? Only You, a 1994 romantic comedy film, tells the story of Faith, portrayed by Tomei, who leaves her fiancé and relentlessly pursues the man of her dreams, Damon Bradley, in Italy.
Hello?
Damon Bradley?
Yeah.
Where are you?
But in her pursuit of her destiny, as told to her by a manipulated Ouija board and fortune teller, Faith meets a charming man named Peter, played by Downey, who falls head over heels in love with her.
I'm Damon Bradley.
Faith finally meets the real Damon Bradley, but sparks come far and few between. She then realizes that Peter is truly destined to be her love match, and the romantic movie ends with the customary happy ending for Tomei and Downey's characters. Number 3, You've Got Mail. The You've Got Mail poster blurb says, "Someone you pass on the street may already be the love of your life." What could be a more romantic enticement than such a cheesy line, besides having rom-com favorites Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan as ambassadors of love? This 1998 box office winner centers on rival bookstore owners Kathleen Kelly, whose small yet profitable children's bookshop is at risk of closure when Joe Fox opens a branch of his family's mega-chain bookstores across the street. Business endeavors lead them to get on each other's nerves, but they find romance in their online lives through their hidden identities as Shopgirl and NY152. And when their internet personas are unmasked, real love blossoms between them. The winsome story and the palpable chemistry between Hanks and Ryan perhaps will make you find love in the net too. Number 4, While You Were Sleeping. Would you choose the man of your dreams, or the man who will make your dreams come true, even if you aren't sleeping? Hollywood sweetheart Sandra Bullock as Lucy figures in a romantic entanglement with brothers Peter and Jack in the top-grossing 1995 romantic comedy While You Were Sleeping. Lucy, a Chicago transit token collector, saves her longtime crush Peter from falling onto the train tracks, but he hits his head and becomes comatose. Peter's family mistakes Lucy as his fiancée and embraces her as their own, except that Jack and Lucy succumb to romantic love. After his recovery, Peter is persuaded to propose to Lucy, but on their wedding day, Lucy confesses her love for Jack instead. In the film's last scenes, Lucy narrates that when Peter asked her when did she fall in love with Jack, Lucy replied, "It was while you were sleeping."
I'm very sorry.
Get ready to melt. Number 5, The Wedding Singer. Funny man Adam Sandler wanted to make a romantic comedy movie filled with laughs that was pro-marriage and pro-love too. So the 1998 pre-Valentine movie The Wedding Singer came about, co-starring Drew Barrymore as Sandler's destined ladylove. Sandler plays the character of Robbie, a wedding singer jilted by his fiancée on their wedding day. In one of his gigs, he meets Barrymore's character Julia, a cheerful waitress who's engaged to a skirt-chasing yuppie. Although they nurture a deep mutual likeness for each other, confusing circumstances force Julia to marry her boyfriend in Las Vegas. Robbie pursues her, and when he learns Julia and her fiancé are on the same Vegas-bound plane he's in, the wedding singer belts out a song, "Grow Old With You," dedicated to Julia. Pandemonium breaks loose, but in the end, the love Robbie and Julia share triumphs. Number 6, Runaway Bride. Rom-com's royal couple, Julia Roberts and Richard Gere, reunite before the turn of the new millennium in Gary Marshall's Runaway Bride, a runaway blockbuster in 1999. The film's title, of course, refers to Roberts' character Maggie Carpenter, who's notorious for dumping 3 fiancés at the altar, all caught on camera. She catches the interest of New York columnist Ike Graham, played by Gere, who writes a story about Maggie with erroneous details from one of her jilted exes. This infuriates Maggie, who complains to the editor, costing Ike his job. The journalist travels to Maggie's hometown in an attempt to redeem himself by writing a more in-depth and truthful article behind The Runaway Bride. As Ian peels off the layers of untruths about Maggie, he gets to know the real Maggie and falls in love with her.
Will you marry me?
They marry on a hill, and Maggie becomes a woman who finally got hitched wholeheartedly. We're posting more interesting videos every single day, so please subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.